Well, just realized it's been about a month since I've done an update on our EV West conversion here on the 71 Super Beetle. Been kind of busy, been taking a few flying lessons again in the 182. Took a trip up to the rim up near the Grand Canyon area, did some kayaking and dirt bike riding and camping and so forth, and so busy with a few other projects. But anyway, I'll cover what I have been doing, and should be getting back at it on Monday again. We are heading up to Elliott's for some more supplies. Elliott's is a local electronics supply house here in Tucson. Good stuff, good guys there, and they're real helpful. And but anyway, so as you can see here, I've got the front battery pack all mounted in position, and we walk around the corner here, around to the right front of the car. You can see that I've got pretty much everything all wired in place, including the main BMS main, I guess, box for the battery management systems all in place and hooked up. I still need to run cables from this here to the secondary or the satellite one, and then over to the battery gauge. But as you can see here, I've got it all wired in, all the main cables, and I decided to run my two main wire leads through the ventilation system down through the right side tunnel. I'm not too worried about the ventilation in this vehicle, but let's see if I can work my way around here. You can't really see it, but this car used to have air conditioning. I don't know whether it was added in or at the dealer or whatever, but that's why you see this great big old hole right down in here, leading to the inside of the car. But anyway, so let me walk around to the inside of the VW, and you can see what I've done in here. Let me go around here. All right, get around. So first off, I'll show you real quick. I managed to get my the Prius pedal mounted. It might be a little dark in here, but let me see if I can zoom in. I ended up having to use aluminum block down here to mount what was supposed to be a custom fit type of bracket for the Prius pedal. Well, it wasn't for the Super Beetle. It's got a different bulkhead or firewall. Then it looks like it's a little bit blurry, so I had to make that block on the top there so that it would adapt in and fit. But it looks like it works exactly the way I need it, and it's in the right position once I have all the pedal cluster back in place. But so anyway, you can see down in here. Let's see if we can see it. Right there, you can see where the two main wires are leading to the back of the VW. And then so let me pull this back out. And so the wires, those main leads come out through right here and then down through this ventilation tube here where the heat exchanger would normally be on the opposite side where the engine is. Back through here underneath the vehicle, and then up through the floor of this parcel shelf in the back here. You can see right there, this wire and that main lead right there are coming up through the bottom of the floor. One of the leads is leading to our main battery or the main off switch, and then over to the box. But everything is in place. I've got all the wires labeled and so forth. I do have my contactor box is nearly complete, I'm going to say. I just finished today twisting my wires coming off of the shunt going to the battery monitor gauge that's going to be in the dash. But here's a good look at how I set up my contactor box. Some people like to put a few more things in there. I'm going to leave mine kind of open. That way if there's a problem, it's easier to address. But so looks like I'm going to mount this little unit right here, the TBS Electronics Prescaler, excuse me. I'm going to mount that there. It comes with some Velcro tape, so I'm just going to mount it to this plate right here. And then this side here, these leads will lead into the box, into the contactor box, and then this side here will go up to the front of the vehicle along with the twisted wires. So my satellite BMS I'm going to just mount on the inner fender right there, and then I've got my wires for that all ready to go. I'll just probably shorten them up a little bit and so forth like that. But as you can see here, coming out of the contactor box, I've got my negative and my positive leading to the control box. And I'm going to get out of the VW right now and walk to the back. So those will be leading to the controller, positive and negative. Let me get to the back here. And so you've got your positive and then your negative leading to the terminals on the back side of the controller back here. So as you can see here, this is how I mounted my main switch. I just drilled, I think it was a 1-inch hole or 1 1/4-inch hole, maybe a little bit larger, maybe 2 1/4, through the through my aluminum here and then through the bulkhead wall. But ended up fitting and looking really nice right where it's at. And I did end up finally permanently mounting my cables right here leading to the motor. I did have to do a little bit of filing on the terminal ends because the way that they have this block set up down here was so tight I was not able to get my terminal protectors over them unless I kind of ground off a little bit of the edges, but should be a good solid connection. But okay, let's see, what else am I doing here? I've got my wires separated out. This bunch of wires right here coming out of the controller will lead up to the front of the vehicle, to the Prius pedal pad, and up to the gauges up in the front. And so I've got those separated out from this bundle of wires, which are going to lead to the contactor box. So when we go to Elliott's this weekend, I'll pick up a few more of these gland nuts, I think they call them, in a smaller size, and I'll run that through here, right about in this area. I'll drill some holes, and so it'll look somewhat professional going through there, and maybe put the stuff in conduit to kind of protect it. But next step, I suppose, I'm going to need to mount my cooling system. I have to devise a shelf system that'll go across here, where I can mount kind of a radiator and a fan and so forth like that right there. I've got some part numbers from a YouTuber up in Montreal. Appreciate your input, believe me. And so let me walk around to the other side here of the car. Here's our two gauges that we're going to be mounting. Looks like one is a kind of a state of the battery meter, and then this one is that works in conjunction with the BMS, or the battery management system. We got this little plate here from J-Bugs, and that will mount right up in the dash like this, so it'll look real professional once I get it in place. And then I'll have the wires that I was just talking to you about coming up underneath. They'll be coming along the tunnel wall here, and then I'll feed them up into where they need to go. Then I'm not sure where I'm going to mount this yet. I want to make sure I put it somewhere where it's not going to get hit by somebody's knee getting in and out of the car, but I'll figure that out next. I can't really mount it here because there's a speaker there, but anyway. So that's where I'm at so far. The project is moving along nicely at the moment. And I guess that's it for now. I hope everybody has a great weekend. And I appreciate the comments, especially the positive ones. So take care.